Hello, I'm Ginger Nelson and welcome to Tea Time. Today I have Lee Turner on the set with us and he is here to talk about the American Cancer Society. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Now can you tell us a little bit about what you do with the American Cancer Society?
Well, I'm on the local board with the American Cancer Society. I do the relay. I'm also on the American Cancer Society board, and I'm also the ACT lead for the Congressional District 8. I do lobbying for the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, which is a part of the American Cancer Society. I have the 8th Congressional District in Georgia.
Wow, so there's how many districts in Georgia?
There's 14.
There's 14, and you're on the 8th one, right here in Tifton.
Right, I have, with the new lineup from Valdosta up to Macon, I have a big area.
You have a big area.
I do.
Really? Now, and you actually you lobby.
I do. I go to Atlanta, and I go to D.C., and lobby with our legislators on cancer issues.
Now, is this all volunteer work?
It is all volunteer.
Wow. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
That's time consuming.
It is.
A lot of hard work.
It is. It's time consuming, but it's rewarding in the end. It's worth every minute of it.
Now, what got you started in the American Cancer Society?
Well, I'm a childhood cancer survivor myself, but what really got me started was in '98, my grandmother was diagnosed with lung cancer, and then a few months later, my mother was diagnosed with melanoma and breast cancer. So that's how I got involved. As a child, I just went through my treatments, to the doctors, but never got involved with the American Cancer Society until...
How old were you as a child?
1 year old.
One.
Throat
so
cancer.
You don't remember.
I don't. I remember, going to the doctors up until I was a teenager just for checkups. But I had throat cancer as a
throat cancer
as a 1 year old child.
Now, do they think you were born with it?
Yeah.
Wow.
They really did. Right after I was born, I had like a big lump that just popped up, and so they watched it and they done the X-rays. And actually, I was one of Dr. Kirkpatrick's one of his first patients when he first came to Tifton many years ago.
Really? Wow.
So, but it was cancer, and they got it all, and I'm still here 48 years later.
And do you feel any side effects or anything from it?
I don't. I still got the scar, but other than that, I have no problems.
So you went through treatment.
Right.
And
so,
good to go now.
Good to go.
Wow.
48 years later.
48 years later, and then your aunt got diagnosed.
My grandmother.
Grandmother, I'm sorry.
Grandmother. She had lung cancer, and she survived like 2 years before she passed away. Then my mother, she's still living. She's a survivor. She had breast cancer and also melanoma. She had like 5 melanomas, which is very, very bad.
Now, did she get diagnosed at the same time?
Shortly afterwards. It's like, just a few months after my grandmother.
Wow.
So both of them at the same time.
So, and she went through treatment.
Right, and done very well, and still here.
So your heart is passionate about
it.
this.
It really is. I live and breathe the American Cancer Society. I'm really passionate about it.
How long have you been involved?
Since '98. So
wow,
like 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, so you took this job where you go and lobby. How did you get that job?
Well, if everybody remembers Dr. Donna Miller, she was very involved with the American Cancer Society here in Tifton. Yeah. She was on the relay board, and also she was our ACT lead at that time doing the lobby work for the American Cancer Society. And after she passed away, I took her position. They called me, which before she passed away, I'd done some stuff with her, and that's how I got to meet people that had done the advocate work. And so after she passed away, I got a call from the Atlanta office and asked me, to come on board and and fill in her shoes, which I never can fill her shoes,
yeah.
but I really, really enjoyed the work that I do.
So she was almost probably teaching you a little bit of this along and along.
Absolutely,
she was.
She was a great mentor.
Sweet lady.
She was.
Sweet lady. Yeah, I remember Miss Donna.
Yeah.
So now, can you tell us exactly what you do when you go up to like Atlanta and D.C.?
What we do is we meet with our local representatives for our congressional district, and which we meet with all of them. And when we go to D.C., we meet with both senators. And what we do is we go in and we talk about the cancer issues, and what we would like to see as an organization. With budget cuts, we know there's going to be cuts. It's just part of life. But we want the research for cancer to be one of their top priorities. So that those cuts are not made there, and and to help with the CDC and the NIH, the National Institute for Health. So that's we just really focus on those issues, and and there's so many other important organizations, and and we include them as well. We just want those health issues to be taken care of.
Yeah. So what better place to let them be taken care of
Right.
than right there in D.C. That's
Absolutely.
Right. That's right. Well, I know that you also help with the American Cancer Society Walk that's here in Tifton.
Right.
How'd that go this year?
It was really good this year. It's not as good as in the past years, but it's a regrowing. I was the chairman several years ago, and so the walk is a very touching night. If you've never been there, that night it's just very touching. To see that the survivors out walking, and the caregivers, and just the family members that's there to remember the ones that lost the fight, and especially during that luminary ceremony.
Yeah. Well, cancer is it just seems like you hear more and more and more about it. I mean, there's nobody that doesn't know someone who has cancer.
Absolutely. And the thing about it doesn't discriminate.
No.
It will, hit a child just as quick as it will hit an adult. And, there's no race barrier. Cancer just has no boundaries. It just happens.
Yeah. I just wish one day they would find a cure for this.
Yeah, and I think we'll see it in our lifetime.
You think?
I really do. There's so many great researchers out there now that I think that they're just on the brink of it. I think.
Well, it's scary because I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I'm thinking, if it's this bad right now, what's it going to be like when she gets my age?
Right.
And that's scary to think about.
It is. It's scary because sometimes I think about will mine come back?
Yeah.
You really do. You think that, especially if you have a family history, where you've had people in your family that's had several people. You think about that.
Well, Lee, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what you can do to get involved. We'll be right back.
If I could get everybody's attention, if you would join me in a moment of silence to honor the 577,000 Americans who died of cancer this year. Actually, silence is the last thing that we need. We need to join the American Cancer Society in their most aggressive assault on cancer yet. 2 out of 3 people are surviving cancer. We shouldn't be silent until that's 3 out of 3. Let's make some noise. Come on. Let's finish this fight.
Are you in the mood for some amazing food? Well, stop by the Smokehouse, home of the best ribs in the South on 82 in Tifton, and try their new barbecue buffet. The barbecue buffet features their signature smoked chicken, pulled pork, and their famous barbecue beans, all cooked over high-quality blackjack oak. The barbecue buffet is offered daily from 11:30 to 2 and from 5:30 to 8. On Friday and Saturday nights, try the buffet featuring Lake Okeechobee fresh catfish. The Smokehouse is home of certified Angus beef, and they're now in their 26th year. Let them cater your next party. Give them a call at 386-0606.
Just 2 big old boys, full of biscuits and charm. Beats all you ever saw, been making us laugh, ain't doing no harm. Making us laugh, the only way they know how. That's just a little more fun than the law should allow.
Summer is here, and it's time to spruce up your home. At Home on 12 has everything you need to make your home stunning and fresh. From coordinated bedding and monogram towels to unique home decorating items, you'll find a wide selection of beautiful pieces. If you want a new look but you're unsure of where to start, At Home on 12 offers interior design services as well. Their professional framing shop has a great selection of frames and mats for artwork, family photos, and more. Visit At Home on 12th at 1202 Highway 41 North in Tifton, online at athomeon12.com, or by phone at 387-8888.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning, 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
You can count on getting the bottom line pricing. You can count on people that are going to tell you straight about the automobile that you want to buy. And I can tell you it is an unbelievably easy experience coming to Cook County Ford and buying a new car truck.
Welcome back to Tea Time. I am talking to Lee Turner, and he is with the American Cancer Society. You're actually here in Tifton, but you represent District 8.
I do, the Congressional District 8 for South Georgia.
South Georgia. You have a big job.
I do. Like I said, it covers from Valdosta up to the Macon area.
So you actually go to Washington, D.C. How many times do you go a year?
We go twice a year. This will be my 5th year going.
5th year, so you go twice a year. And what exactly do you do when you go up there?
Well, when we go up, we meet with the legislators. We meet with our representative for our district. Then we also meet with our 2 senators. And we sit there and just, we have about an hour of their time. And
so they actually give you an hour of their time?
Well, a lot of times they get up and have to leave, and then we actually then talk to their aides. But they are good enough to to sit down and talk with us. Some a lot of times we don't get that whole time. They have to get up and go to some kind of call meeting or to vote on something.
Yeah.
But they really are good from the state of Georgia about meeting with us. All the representatives and the 2 senators are really good. Because there's 14 of us that goes from from the state, and each one of us gets to meet with our local representative, and then then we all come together and meet with the 2 senators.
So you meet with Austin Scott.
I do, and Austin has been very supportive of our issues. So he's represented us really well. So
do you have to have something prepared when you go up there to talk to them about?
We don't. We just go in there and just talk.
Just talk.
A lot of times we go in there and we tell our personal story, and then we talk to him, about cancer issues, and what we would like to see. We know that everything we want we're not going to get, but if we can get this, a piece of that pie.
Basically, it's what you don't want them to do. You don't want them to cut
the funding for the research, because that research is so important. Because without that research, we're never going to find that cure.
That's right.
And it's so important that that funding still is kept there for the research.
Now, you're actually going to Washington, D.C. coming up very soon, right?
Leaving on the 8th of September. We'll be there for 3 days.
3 days. Are you going by yourself, or?
This year, I'm very fortunate. I get to take a person with me, and I'm taking Gail Cooper from Tifton. She is very involved with the American Cancer Society on the Relay for Life side, and she's also on the Breast Cancer Foundation board here in Tifton.
Gail's very passionate about it.
Very passionate, and that's why when I got to choose someone to go with me this year, I chose her because she is so passionate, for the cure of cancer.
And she's a survivor as well.
She is. She's a breast cancer survivor herself.
Yeah. So she's going to go with you. Now, exactly what are you going to do?
Well,
there's something different. Well, you had it last year, but second year.
This is the second year. We're going to be doing a luminary ceremony at the Capitol. It starts at the Capitol and goes down to the reflecting pool. Last year we had over 10,000 bags that was, from all across the United States.
So 10,000 luminary bags.
Right.
Along the Capitol. I bet that was a sight to see.
It was a sight. I mean, it was just breathtaking, because we do it at night and it's dark and there's no lights on, nothing but those bags lit up. I mean, it was a sight. It was very, very, very touching.
So now, is it just you who are the, I can't think. There are other people. There are cancer survivors as well. They are.
Right. With the that night when we're at the reflecting pool, all 50 states will be represented from their congressional district. All the athletes will be there. The public, comes out because they are, the Atlanta News, really broadcasts while we're there, because we're all in these blue shirts like I got on today. We're all of the athletes from every state will have these shirts on, and when we go down to the Capitol, we walk from the hotel, and it's like a sea of blue walking, and we're all over the news those 3 days. So a lot of people, from the public, they're in D.C., come out to the ceremony that night because they're invited. We have a lot of people from the Capitol come down. The representatives, they come down that night. So it's a very touching ceremony. Last year, I had 150 bags that I took from from our district. Most of them came from Tifton, but this year my goal is 175. I want to push it up a little bit.
So you kind of actually took more bags then.
Yeah, I had the most from the state of Georgia last year, and also
Woohoo!
Yeah. So and then another thing that was really good. I was in the top 5 for our South Atlantic Division, which comes from Virginia down to Georgia. So
you were in the top 5.
Top 5, and so and that was our first year, and so there's some of the other athletes from the state of Georgia this year. Said they're going to take it this year. So I'm still trying to take a little bit more.
So what can the viewers do to help you?
Okay, the bags are $10 a piece, and we can decorate them for you, or you can decorate them. You can do them in memory of someone that's lost the fight, or you can do it in memory of someone that's lost the fight, or you can do it for honor of someone that that survived. And I've got these little stickers this year that I'm putting on them. It's got Georgia on them so that we can find ours. Because last year we had to walk around and search and find ours from Georgia. Because they just 10,000 bags is a lot of bags.
I bet.
And so I came up with an idea to mark ours so that we could find them easier. So I got these stickers that's got Georgia on them. So we're going to put them on top of the bag so we'll be able to find them. So.
Oh, that would be neat.
Yeah.
So we need people to help donate.
We do, and all the money goes back to the American Cancer Society, and all that goes back into that fund, for research. And I've issued a challenge out to other restaurants and businesses in town. My employees at Cracker Barrel has really got involved. They're purchasing bags, and they've challenged the other restaurants in town, and also other businesses, and they can do it to honor their employees or ones that's lost the fight. So. We're trying to hit that 175 or more this year. I'd love to have more.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
That would be neat. So it could possibly be more than 10,000 bags this year.
Absolutely, because last year
that was just the first year.
That was the first year last year, and so we set a date for the 30th, but we can't take the money up until the 8th until we leave. But we do have to let DC know approximately how many bags, because they have to get permission from the national parks to put the bags out around the reflecting pool and stuff like that. So they have to have a general idea about how many we're going to have this year.
And so they'll do this on what night again?
We'll do this on the 10th.
On September.
No, I say the 9th.
September the 9th.
September the 9th.
So I bet that is a sight to see.
It is. It really is. It's a touching ceremony. It's the touching. The ceremony we have here locally is very touching, but it's really touching there. When all those bags around that reflecting pool, and it's nothing but those little lights and those bags flickering, and it's
And at that time, you can't think about anybody else other than the people that you know who have gone through cancer treatment and are a survivor, or those who have passed away.
Absolutely. Because, it brings back those memories. For those people that are survivors, it brings back memories of them going through their treatments, going through the process. And then also, the ones that's there that, were caregivers that think about the ones that lost the fight.
Yeah. Well, Lee, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to let you know how that you can donate and the contact information. We'll be right back.
Excuse me. Thousands of cancer patients can't afford a place to stay when the best treatment is far from home. A room shouldn't be the difference between life and death. Let's make sure that everyone who needs a room gets one. Let's make some noise. Let's help the American Cancer Society finish the fight.
Text ROOM to 41518 to donate $10.
Meet Carolyn Tallman, a master cosmetologist and a Moultrie Technical College graduate from the class of 1997. She is well acquainted with the tools of the trade. But even these tools could not prepare Carolyn for the life-changing obstacles that would lie in her path. This working wife and mother of two bravely faced a late-stage cancer diagnosis, not only once, but twice. and her Moultrie Tech family was there, holding a bone marrow testing drive in 2007 in her honor. Now, 6 years post-transplant, Carolyn is cancer-free and a busy team member in a thriving hair salon in Moultrie. The work ethics traits she learned at Moultrie Tech, that of a positive attitude and a strong character, helped this survivor to help others feel alive and more beautiful.
This changes everything.
We're everywhere you turn. Moultrie Technical College.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Albany, Thomasville, and Moultrie and Valdosta looking for trucks, and it was just a nightmare. I came to Cook County Ford. I drove off the lot in Iowa with this brand new truck, and I am well satisfied.
I recently had hail damage, but he provided me with a rental vehicle, and my Flex is as good as new. I mean, they really fixed it, and I probably would not have trusted anybody else to do what they needed to do in order for it to be fixed. So they did a really good job.
Are you in the mood for some amazing food? Well, stop by the Smokehouse, home of the best ribs in the South on 82 in Tifton, and try their new barbecue buffet. The barbecue buffet features their signature smoked chicken, pulled pork, and their famous barbecue beans, all cooked over high-quality blackjack oak. The barbecue buffet is offered daily from 11:30 to 2 and from 5:30 to 8. On Friday and Saturday nights, try the buffet featuring Lake Okeechobee fresh catfish. The Smokehouse is home of certified Angus beef, and they're now in their 26th year. Let them cater your next party. Give them a call at 386-0606.
Just two big old boys, full of biscuits and charm. Beats all you ever saw, been a making us laugh, ain't doing no harm. Making us laugh, the only way they know how. That's just a little more fun than the law should allow.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Tea Time. I've been talking to Lee Turner. He has been telling us about the American Cancer Society and the Lights of Hope that is coming up in Washington, D.C.
Right.
And that is September the 9th.
Right, that's when we'll do the ceremony. We'll actually go up on the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Taking your luminaries.
Take my luminaries.
From District 8. So we want to outshine all the other districts.
We do. We want to be the top district from the state of Georgia again this year.
So, and everybody who's watching this knows somebody who has had cancer, who has passed away, or is suffering from cancer at this moment.
Right. You know, there's a lot of people in our district that's been touched, you know, by cancer.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people, and it seems like it's more and more.
It does. You know, you hear it every day. You know, there's somebody newly diagnosed every day. It seems like that we know that you know.
So we can get involved by help and donate.
Absolutely. You can contact me. My number is 848-6123. I will come to you, or you can bring it to me either way, whichever.
And it's $10 for a bag.
$10 for a bag, and like I said, we'll decorate the bags, for you, or if you want to decorate it yourself, put your personal touch to it, then I can leave the bag, with you and come back and pick it up.
Now you can also get in touch with Gail Cooper, and her number is 382-6645, or by email gailcooper@mchsi.com.
Right.
And so if you want to purchase one of these, you need to go ahead and do it.
Right. Like I say, we're trying to do the cutoff for the 30th, but we will take it after the 30th. We just got to let the national parks know, about how many bags we've got this year from all 50 states, because a lot of bags, they have to mark off the area for us.
Well, let me ask you this, Lee. If there's someone who's watching who maybe can't donate the full $10, can they donate a smaller amount?
Absolutely. We'll take, any donation. We set it at $10, but, if a person doesn't have that, we'll take, whatever they have.
And you can just add it all together and
absolutely.
How many luminaries you can get out of it.
Absolutely.
We'll go to Cancer Research.
Right.
So, and we want to shine. We want to outshine.
We do. We want to outshine those Atlanta congressional districts. Atlanta has issued a challenge, but I don't want them to outshine South Georgia.
Now, Lee, can you give us the information for the American Cancer Society here in Tifton?
We have an office over in Albany. It's not here in Tifton, but the toll-free number is 1-800-ACS-234.
ACS-234.
And they're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If anybody ever has any type of question, whether it be cancer, anything regarding cancer, they're
maybe a loved one, maybe they're a caretaker and a loved one's going
and they just want to talk to somebody, or if they have a nutritional question, just any type of question they can think of, there's somebody there 24 hours a day that can help them, and put them in touch with somebody, for whatever their need is. Because there's so many programs that's there for the citizens. All the money that we raise for the relays, that money goes to the American Cancer Society, for those programs. And there's so many out there, for the people, in our communities and all across the United States, for them to use.
Yeah. Well, Lee, we appreciate you coming on the show with us.
Thank you for having me.
And we wish you the best of luck in Washington, D.C.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all that you do for this horrible disease.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next time right here on Plant TIFNet's Wiregrass Channel 3.